Poop diddy whoop scoop. Poop. Poop. Scoop diddy whoop. Whoop diddy scoop. Whoop.
All right, that's enough.
And that's how we get taken off air for copyright infringement over great lyrics.
God, and they said that mumble rap was bad.
Yeah, I have not heard the new album, but it has one hell of a freaking promotion going for it right now.
I think Petco has a sponsorship in that.
Do they?
Yeah.
I thought like the promotion of him just doing all his antics.
No, he's talking about poop scoopers.
Oh.
Come on, dog. There's a big old market in poop scoopers. Who's endorsing poop scoopers right now? No one.
No one.
Kanye.
Yeah, he's onto it.
He knows what he's doing. You know what? He's thinking what 400 years of slavery he didn't think about. And that's scooping poop.
Scooping poop.
Imagine Nat Turner like scooping some poop.
Man.
You know? He didn't.
If Harriet Tubman would have thought of this sooner.
This is getting really controversial. We're gonna get sniped or something.
No, actually, your window is open, so we might get sniped.
Yes, we're doing this from a different location today. It's pretty hot out, so we kind of did it at my spot.
Yeah, which is fine. We'll try it out. Next time we'll do it in Russia.
Yes,
because Putin is a fan.
Anyways,
you know what's funny about the whole the TMZ interview? This is one thing I found kind of hilarious was the whole time the dude was in the back in his little cubicle, like eavesdropping, just waiting. He was doing something else like they always do, and then he just heard Kanye and he just got triggered. Popped his head out like the little whack-a-mole and just boop. He like popped up and he stayed over there too. He never walked over or anything like that. Everyone was just like,
he was just like talking loudly and he's like, I don't agree with you. Slavery is not a choice.
But everyone has someone like that in the workplace.
I feel like I wonder what they do on the computers, like when they tape TMZ like on TV. Like, are they playing solitaire? Or are they like actually like looking up like news going on in real life or what's going on?
I think they're just like everyone's just waiting to like hear something. Like,
yeah.
You know how like in most of your jobs you just want to like sit back, you chill, you want to like man, I'm bored. Let me play some music or something like that. Like at the TMZ headquarters, nah, you got to keep your ears open. You got to be like, oh, wait, who's sleeping with who?
Mm-hmm.
Like Kanye said what? So I feel like that's a workplace where like having your headphones in would be the disadvantage. I'm coming out pretty loud. I'm looking at this now. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah.
I'm freehanding right now.
Yeah, we're doing this without stands or anything. This is our first time holding the mics in our hand, so.
And on top of that, I can't hear myself. So if I come out loud, it's because I have the mic too close to my face. That's fine. Because I did yoga today. So my mind and body are.
You're prepared for this, man. You're prepared.
Kind of.
All right.
Unless my arm gives out.
So we're back at it this week. My name's Lalo.
Oh shit! Intros. Davito.
There's so much going on this week. We can't even say our names because we had so much to talk about, but we don't have much to talk about.
Yeah, all at the same time.
Yeah.
All at the same time. But, have you actually heard Kanye's new album? Is it out?
No, it doesn't come out till June.
Okay.
The first
Does he
week.
have singles out for it?
He has like 2 songs. The one that I played in the beginning, which was "Lift Yourself."
Yeah.
And it's like 2 minutes and 16 seconds. And like the last 30 seconds, he's just rhyming scoops and poops.
I like how it's called like "Lift Yourself."
Yeah, that's a good one. And then he has another song called "Ye versus the People" featuring T.I. And he plays the people. So basically, this song's more of a better song.
Yeah.
I guess I still haven't listened to it fully. But it's basically a song where they're like rapping at each other with their opinions. So, Kanye's all about the Make America Great Again. And then you got T.I. He's like, hey, man, you got to watch out for Donald Trump because he doesn't like support black people or, all these things he's doing. So it's kind of like a back and forth track,
That's kind of an interesting. This seems like a very political album.
I don't think it is, though, honestly.
You already, except for the poop thing, which I don't know, maybe. I mean, Trump likes getting pissed on, so.
I honestly think this is all like a publicity stunt. Like, why is he barely doing interviews a month before he's going to drop an album? Why is this all coming out now?
I think I think that's what it is. Is like no, without a doubt, he's really good at marketing.
And he's getting us to things like, man, he's going to talk about like politics on his album. I can't wait to hear it so I could bash it, or I can't wait to hear it so I could love it. There's going to be a lot of things floating. I'm a big Kanye West fan. But yeah, I'm a big fan of his, and I don't agree with his opinions. And you know what? And nobody's going to agree with everybody's opinions. Everybody has their own agenda. Everybody has their own train of thought. For me, I'm not going to like try to force you to agree with my agenda. You know what I mean? I'm more of a free thinker. If you're going to think that, that's fine. Is he lost? Honestly, that's not my... There's bigger things going on.
The amount of times,
you know what I mean?
You try to sell fish tacos to me, and I'm not a fish taco person. No, I'm just kidding. No, I agree with that because I'm not a fan of Nickelback's opinions on stuff or their music. So I gotta stop hating on those guys. But
man,
it's too much fun.
Speaking of the Nickelback, I heard that the new generation of Nickelback is the Imagine Dragons. Have you ever listened to their music?
Yeah, they were all right. I can definitely see why people would say that because they're like airwave friendly.
Yeah,
like and pop charty,
poppy, like bubblegum, rockish.
And they make like really good music, but yeah, I can see why.
At the same time, you can't really like take them serious. Like, oh, I can't wait to go to a concert.
Well, it's because they found their style and they kind of stuck to it. Like there's bands that aren't afraid to like try new stuff, innovate, and all that stuff. And that's one thing with Nickelback. Haters like myself is like all their songs sound the same. That's the reason why like people are like, oh, all the country music sounds the same.
But yeah, that's why I like Kanye West. Like every album, it's like a new. He's like an onion. You peel a layer, that's an album. You peel another layer, it's a different album.
I'll give him that.
That's what I like about him. He always sets a new. He never rides that same wave that everybody else does, but he'll try to like catch a new wave somewhere else.
Like most people, I'm like, I was a fan of the first 3 albums, and after that,
Yeah, I stuck with him hard. Like Yeezus is a great album in my opinion, and a lot of people hate it, and I see why, but I see it my way too. But anyway, so like I said, whatever Kanye West is going through is whatever he's going through. There's bigger stuff going on in this world, so I don't really care about his personal life. I mean, I hope he's good.
I'd give the album a shot for the sake of like just being a music fan.
Yeah.
Versus the whole political agenda, like you're saying. So.
I think he tweeted, which he's back on Twitter now, and he's tweeting excessively. Is that I think he said something along. He said that the album is going to be like only 7 songs.
So it's like an EP then.
So it might just be an EP, but who knows?
But then Kanye will find a way to flip that and make it sound like that's the new way of making albums.
I'm not a big fan of like short albums, but I really did enjoy The Weeknd's last EP. It's only like 6 songs, and
I think if you tell your fan base that it's going to be some in between all that stuff, then yeah, I'll accept it. But if people are getting so hyped up and you don't kind of say anything till it's getting really close. Oh, by the way, it's only be 5 tracks. Then it's kind of like, well, okay,
getting kind of low there.
Oh yeah, I started putting my.
But yeah, what I've noticed from like most rappers nowadays, like these SoundCloud guys, like those Tekashis and Little Uzi Verts, and like these guys are making songs that are like 2 minutes now. They have like a whole there's like 17 songs, and the album is only like 45 minutes. And I'm not a big fan of that.
No,
they're making more songs, and you know why they do that? It's because I guess the streaming services. You get more sales if you make more songs for an album, and you get people to listen to the whole album. You get bigger streaming revenue. So instead of like playing like 1 song, 2 songs off an album, that's what they tend to do. So that's why they make these albums shorter, which I kind of find annoying because I'm more of like a quality over quantity.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I
was gonna say because there's songs that are like short, and I'm just like, why can't they be longer? And there's songs that are like even long when it's good, you want it to go on longer. On like
Pyramids.
Pyramids was a long song.
It's an 11-minute song.
Yeah, but it like I was so into that song. Shit, you can keep it going. On the new A Perfect Circle album, one of their songs I like is like 4 minutes, which is like pretty good. But the thing was just like, man, after 4 minutes, I still wanted more. So like. Yeah, if you're making good music, like, long is good I guess.
That's what she said.
I know. I was trying to think of a better way to word it, but I couldn't. Um, but I don't know. Some short songs are like pretty entertaining. Like where you're like, oh, that was short and sweet. But they're also like you appreciate. You know what? Maybe that was just the perfect length. You know, maybe that's just dessert. Maybe that one didn't have to be super long. That's what, like I think Bruno Mars had a really short song on one of his last albums.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really quick, 2 minute, really kind of sweet, and I was like, oh man, this is really well put together.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost like that it being that short
Yeah,
was what helped it.
one of the songs that I remember like when it first came out, and I was like, it was off the Blueprint 3. It was Jay-Z, and the track listing said featuring Kanye West. When you hear those two names together, you want to hear a long song because
They work really good together.
You know they're gonna have a banger. You know, especially back in the whatever 2011 that album came out.
Mhm.
They were both hot. They were both before like the art rap. So you were like really hyped, like, oh man, these two are gonna be on a track together. That's gonna be fire. And you find out the song's only like 2 minutes and change. You're kind of disappointed. So it's back and forth when it comes to short songs. I do prefer. I like songs that are like in the 4 to 5 minute range, if you could get a good quality song out of it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: would you like an album that's more or less an hour long, with longer tracks? So maybe around 9 tracks altogether for the entire
I wouldn't
album.
mind a 10, 11 tracks, maybe 12.
Maybe
like if you look at Flower Boy,
Boy's
that
was really
like 13 tracks and it's like 49 minutes.
that
Like under 49.
You know what bugs me is I forgot that Damn came out last year as well, and Damn kind of took some music awards over Flower Boy, but at the end of the day, I can't lie to myself. I listen to Flower Boy way more than listen to Damn.
Yeah, I think Flower Boy was a better album.
So I think just by the evidence, Flower Boy to me was probably the better album of 2017
And
for hip hop.
I've said it in the beginning too. It's like, Damn was a good album, but I don't see myself listening to it every day.
Well, I think what it was also is Damn was what we wanted out of
You
Kendrick.
expect it.
Yeah. Flower Boy came out of nowhere.
Yeah, because we're both not big like Tyler the Creator fans because we're a little bit older, so we don't kind of cater to like the younger kids party music.
Right.
And that's what kind of Tyler's lane was. He was more into like the college kids.
Yeah,
Especially
definitely.
like the college white kids.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely his crowd.
This album, like it's universally sound. Like it's an album for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't see any like negative about the album. I think every song was good. We've talked about this. We both don't really care for Potholes.
Yeah, that was probably the only track I don't really care for.
Like we'll listen to it, but it's skippable.
Yeah.
But I have like lately when I've listened to the album, which hasn't been recent, I've given Pothole a chance, and I actually kind of like it.
It's not too bad of a track.
So it grown on me.
I think maybe I'm just a Jaden Smith hater. I just hate a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's part of me getting older.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out this thing started our recording kind of got paused through some technical difficulties. I'm trying to figure out if that's where it picked up where we left off or not. Anyway, all right, that was my only thing is I didn't know Kanye's album wasn't out.
Yeah, he actually has 2 albums. He's gonna have his own solo album, and then he has a collaboration album with Kid Cudi.
That's right. Okay, I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. I'm a big Kid Cudi fan.
And my favorite duo ish is getting together. Anderson .Paak and Knowledge.
Oh, god damn it.
No Worries is supposed to release something actually tomorrow, which is May.
Well, tonight it'll be out at 9 p.m. for us.
Yeah, so
Pacific time.
So I'm looking forward to that, just because I'm a big fan of Anderson .Paak. Knowledge, so.
I don't really care for Anderson .Paak.
Oh, I love him, man.
Like I really enjoy that he's like really instrumental, and he's like with that jazzy influence. Because I love myself some jazz, Yeah. I'm a big Prince fan, and for some reason I just can't really get into Anderson .Paak.
I think I want to say I'm a fan of his music, but I feel like he's still finding a groove. I think he has a style, but he still needs to like just mature in it. Lyrically, some of his songs are a little kind of like. So I think he's still excited, and I think he needs to work with someone and really kind of hone all of his stools together, but he's getting there. Like I see it. He's definitely getting there. But it's just a matter of just bringing in the wrapping paper, putting it all together, and then putting that little bow on top. I think right now, like, he's still finding a groove.
Yeah, I think he should collab with like a rapper,
That
and with
actually
No
might-
Worries, because Knowledge, is that his name? You said.
Yeah, Knowledge.
He's kind of a rapper, right?
A rapper, more kind of producer.
Oh, okay.
So Anderson .Paak and Run the Jewels getting together for like 3 tracks.
Nah, I kind of want to like.
That wouldn't be too good together.
Because
it would have to be like some sort of
more of an underground rapper, not like a mainstream rapper. Like, because the way I see him, like, he would do good. Like, if Tupac was around, they'd both like make a good, interesting choice. Because back in the day, like in the '90s, the rappers, R&B singers wrote most of the rappers' songs. Like, a lot of songs I've like listened to a few interviews with R&B artists and said that, like, when we used to collaborate with the rappers, we'd write some of their rhymes, and just seeing Anderson .Paak with a rapper.
The more I thought about it, and the reason why I looked into him to begin with was because of the Compton album, and I realized that you mentioned Pac worked with Dre, and like Dre used him on a lot of tracks, but he knew how to use him, like, and I think you're right. With a good producer or rapper, that might be like what can take him to like elevate him a little bit more.
Like, use him. I see him as like a hook man, like being like someone singing like the chorus.
Yeah, that's
and having like the beats. Like, he'd make it like his own like instrumental beats and stuff like that, and you give it that like jazzy, rappy flair. And honestly, that'd be that 1-2 punch.
That's kind of what he did in the Compton album. So yeah, that makes sense. But a solo album every now and then will keep me.
Well, yeah,
happy.
I'm not saying to
like
never let him sing his own songs, but like, if he wants to get over that hump, I think you get him a rapper to pair with, and it might elevate him. Who knows?
Yeah, so don't you dare go solo again.
But that's got a little music in there. That's
I want to shift a little bit. I like talking about music, but I want to shift a little bit from it because there's a couple other subjects we want to go through, and there's plenty of time to talk about music.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, plenty of time in sense of future podcasts and stuff.
Oh, I didn't tell you this is the last one.
Oh well, fuck. All right. Well, it's been good. Another hour of music. Let me get my notepad out. Really unprepared for this one.
You want to do some predictions?
Let's do it.
Okay, we're gonna do some predictions. Surprisingly, WWE's Backlash is on this Sunday.
Wrestling predictions.
So many. This is like the third pay-per-view in like a month.
Yeah, they were supposed to slow down on them, right?
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's why I'm losing a little interest. Maybe I'm getting a little.
There's too much. I mean, you had Mania in the beginning of April, and then you had the Greatest Royal Rumble at the end of the month.
Yeah, don't kid yourself, WWE. That was a freaking pay-per-view, man.
And then you have Backlash here, which was like 2 weeks after Greatest Royal Rumble.
I didn't even watch the Royal Rumble. I got your take on it. I saw some online reviews, and it just kind of just felt like something where, like, remember Takeover for NXT? I still haven't
watched it.
I haven't watched the entire thing. I watched the first match, and I thought it was freaking amazing.
Yeah, I watched that match. That's the only match I got to watch.
I almost would rather watch that because of the positive feedback I got.
So much good wrestling there.
Versus what I've seen for the Greatest Royal Rumble and kind of Mania.
Mania wasn't that good. I think it was like overrated. Like, it was too hyped up.
It was too hyped up, and I think that's actually probably the best thing was we, instead of going in there with an open mind and let's close this story that's been built up to this, it's just like they kind of just threw something out there, and I think we could have all expected something better.
Yeah, because like everybody knew like the Nakamura and Styles was supposed to be the show stealer, So everybody knew, like, this is going to be the greatest match. Like, it's like telling you, like, hey, everybody, we got to watch this match. Because it's supposed to be the greatest match of the night. You watch it, and you're like, okay. You know, that's all you're going to say, because it's like,
I was so angry at myself with how hype I got that. And I think my brother came to watch it, and I oversold it for him as well. And I was just like, no, it's going to get good. It's going to get better.
Yeah, and it never really did. No. But, yeah, we got Backlash coming this Sunday. It's a dual branded pay-per-view. So, like, the rest of the year, or probably the rest of the future, Raw and SmackDown are going to be the same pay-per-view. Which kind of makes sense, because last year, we were talking about this, like, that SmackDown, whenever they had pay-per-views, like, most of their matches seemed more like a house show or like a SmackDown Live, like, match. There wasn't really any good matches.
Would you say that because it was of story development or because of just the in-ring performance?
I think it's more of like the wrestlers. It's in general, like you really didn't have a full card of like great talent to perform a full card. Now that this shakeup happened, I wouldn't mind seeing SmackDown have their own pay-per-view because they got so many like top stars, and I think now after the shakeup, they could hold their own like pay-per-view, and I think it'd be a decently good pay-per-view. Because now you have top guys like Samoa Joe. I was spacing his name, but Samoa Joe could hold the main spot, which is a good move for SmackDown, because they really need like a main wrestlers, main card wrestlers, and he could put on a show. You got to get a lot of good acts going. So, I don't know. If they could do a SmackDown show, that'd be great. But for now, we're going to do dual branded. Not our choice, but, the WWE's choice. Because we're not saying that.
Dictatorship, man.
I know, right?
Vinnie Mac and Company.
All right. So, yeah, it's Backlash this Sunday. A lot of titles on the line. There's a couple singles matches. I don't know if these are in order. Do you have your predictions ready?
Oh, I'm going to go off the top of my head. I'm going to go...
Same.
When you name them, I'm going to see who my favorite is.
Yeah, I'm going to... Same, because we discussed this, that we really haven't watched Raw and SmackDown this last few weeks. Like we said, it's too much wrestling.
Yeah, it's over saturation.
So, one of the matches we got... this is not in order, by the way. But we got AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. No disqualification. So, low blows are a go.
I'm going to go with Nakamura. I think if AJ takes it, then just send Nakamura back to Japan, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
Just give the man the belt. Well, no, at the same time, yeah, it's tough because you want to have someone that can speak proper English, cut a promo and stuff like that. But, I mean, I wonder if they expected him to get enough heat by now to where if they threw the title at him or on him, that it would like just that would be justifiable, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's got so much heat on him that the fans hate him, let's throw the title on him. But also I want to see Nakamura win a world title.
Yeah, he needs to win, and this is their third match, the third time challenging for the match, and then no disqualification is going to go in Nakamura's favor.
That typically favors heels.
But I think, and this is what I think is going to happen. People think that the no disqualification is going to help Shinsuke, but I think AJ is going to benefit off that, because now that not the Bullet Club, because they're not Bullet Club in the WWE, they're what are they called? The Gallows and Anderson.
So they're not part of the Balor Club deal. They have their own.
They moved to SmackDown.
Okay, I don't know the name of the.
But I think they're gonna come out and help AJ Styles win that. Even though Nakamura should win. A
little too sweet action there at the end.
Yeah.
But that would make Nakamura. That might make him go over as somewhat kind of face neutral.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be tough.
He's a good heel though. He's from all the promos and stuff like that, and his theme song.
I haven't heard it. I haven't heard the new one.
I forgot to show you that, but we'll look it up later on the YouTube. Next match, we got Seth Rollins versus The Miz for the Intercontinental.
Okay, so Intercontinental, is that SmackDown? Is that
Yep.
Raw?
Yep,
SmackDown.
that's SmackDown.
Okay, so when I saw this on the card, I was like, oh, this looks like it's gonna be fun. Um, I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing Miz take it, but I think Seth is gonna retain. Something in me says Seth is gonna retain.
Yeah, I just like I said in the Greatest Royal Rumble, because the other what is the United States Championship is a Raw Championship, and they're both. Wait a second. Intercontinental's on Raw.
Okay.
My bad. And the United States is on SmackDown. And the United States is both SmackDowns. So I see Seth Rollins keeping the Intercontinental on Raw. Yeah. Okay, so Seth Rollins on for me as well.
Is it a cross brand match?
Yeah.
Oh,
Which is weird. I just noticed that right now.
keeping it interesting.
So yeah, Seth Rollins is going to keep that. The next we got Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton for the United States Champion. That is a SmackDown belt. Jeff Hardy is a champion right now.
Is Jeff Raw?
What's that?
Is Jeff part of the?
No, they're
Raw?
both
Okay,
SmackDown.
Okay, so that
Jeff
one's
Jeff moved
that
to
one doesn't
SmackDown.
matter. I say keep it on Jeff. I don't see why you need to give Randy Orton the title again.
Yeah,
I just felt like they gave him his moment with the belt. They gave him that little bragging rights deal.
so he could be the Grand Slam champion.
Yeah, he's got that. That's fine. Now let Jeff keep it. Get some respect under the belt a little bit. That we're not just like hot potatoing it around.
Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna go with Jeff Hardy as well. Randy Orton doesn't really need the belt. He doesn't really need a push. He's a veteran. I don't think he's gonna go over anytime soon.
Nah, I think if Orton gets a title push, I mean the guy deserves probably another world title push.
I like him as a wrestler. I'm not too negative on him. I know he's a slow worker.
But that's why he's been in the business for so long.
Mm-hmm.
It's as much as people hate those slower guys, it's like those are the guys that last because they're not, beating themselves up.
Yeah, and I hear that he's gonna take some time off here too.
Deserves it, man.
Yeah, he's been in it for a long time. So yeah, Jeff Hardy for both of us. Next we got Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship.
Bliss.
You think so?
I just want Bliss. I like her as a champ. Nia Jax doesn't have as... I mean, she's a beast, but on top of just her physical dominance and appearance and all that, it's just she's not on as good on the mic as Alexa, and I think Alexa's just on a whole different level. And let her freaking use some move sets, man.
Yes, I love her finishing move where she goes off the top rope. I forgot what it's called, sweep, Bliss something. But she's a good worker. When she's a heel, and they only let her do so much as a heel.
Yeah.
But Nia Jax is a face on this. She plays the bullied person.
Yeah.
Even though she's a bigger person.
Yeah.
You would think she'd be the bully. But no. So I think Nia Jax is gonna keep the belt.
She might, but I'm voting for Bliss just because I feel like she'll find a way. She'll cheat. She'll get what's her face to kind of help her out. Mickey James.
Yeah. Okay. Not much to that match.
Nah, I wanted to be invested into Mania, but no.
Yeah, there's not much going for that. Okay, and then next we got another women's title belt. It's Carmella versus Charlotte Flair.
Not a Money in the Bank.
She cashed it in already, and she's the champion.
Oh,
Carmella is the champion.
Carmella's gonna find a way to cheat her way to keep that title belt.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I don't mind that at all.
I think so too. Yeah. Maybe James Ellsworth might pop up somewhere.
He doesn't have the chin.
Dun-dun-dun. Next, we got Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe. This is a cross-brand fight. There's nothing for it. It's just a singles match.
You know what annoys me about this is that the build-up was going so good, and then they did the brand split,
And Joe goes to the other brand.
and they kind of killed the momentum off for this. But this started off really freaking good after Mania. You have Joe calling out, or just talking shit actually.
Can't get the job done.
Yeah, man, it was going so perfect, and I felt like when they split them up for a couple weeks, were they still taking shots at each other, or was it just kind of like?
Yeah, Joe's more like, oh, you have all these championship opportunities and you can't capitalize, blah blah blah, and then Reigns is like, whoa, blah blah blah. So it's more of like Joe's talking smack, and he's really good on the mic. And I'm not a big Samoa Joe fan.
But the guy's he's a good worker.
But he's a good worker. He's a good on mic skills. I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns. He needs a win.
I'm gonna go with Joe.
Joe. Next, we got Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. Big Cass is returning from injury. This is just a singles match.
Can I say this is like this is like the most glorified dark match I've ever seen on a card? Is there anything building up to this? I have no idea. This seemed random to me.
Just the fact that Big Cass returned and he got drafted to SmackDown, and basically he's being a bully to Daniel Bryan for no reason.
Oh.
And I think, like, outside of this match, if you look at Daniel Bryan's matches, minus the Rumble, he's had a lot of, like, dark matches where they're, like, the first match on the card. He hasn't really, like, had a good opponent to go face off of. Like, at Mania, his first match back, he was in a tag match with Shane McMahon.
Right.
And then on SmackDown, I see that he's doing, like, this little... I guess he wasn't even cleared to fight last week. He wasn't medically cleared. I don't know if that's storyline.
Okay.
Because
I was going to say, I mean, they had the whole deal with The Miz going for such a long time. You'd figure that's the first kind of...
I think they're going to save that.
I mean, you do want to bank it. I understand that. Like, that's
but
definitely...
you should.
But, yeah, I feel like you spend so much time on that it's almost weird to ignore it or just, like, kind of set it back. Like, they don't tease it at all or anything.
Yeah, they got to strike while the iron's hot, because if you wait too long, people are going to lose interest and they're going to forget these guys had a great feud. So, that one, Daniel Bryan's going to win, I think.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. If not, Big Cass is going to do, like, a big boot. Daniel Bryan's going to get, like, concussed, and then next thing you know, he's not going to be cleared. And then The Miz will probably start talking some more shit around SummerSlam. And then Daniel Bryan's going to be cleared around the road to Royal Rumble time. Now, that's too wide of a time frame, but I think Daniel's going to win.
In a dark match. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first match.
I hope so. I honestly kind of hope so, because it seems really weird. When I saw this on the card, I was like, what the heck's this doing here?
Yeah. All right, so we got the last match: Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for a tag team match. No implications.
Is there any back?
No, they just been tagging it up.
Tag team feud. I'm not sold on Zayn and Owens. It's just the different intros, the different ways of coming in. It's like it's such a weird tag team combination. Like, I understand they both came up together, but it's just like, since they found who they were, kind of character wise, like, it's just kind of like I don't know. I don't think I'm sold.
Yeah, I don't really care for this match. Bobby Lashley's back. Braun Strowman, he's Braun Strowman. I don't see him losing anytime soon unless Bobby Lashley takes a pin. But even then, I don't even see Bobby Lashley taking the pin. So I'm going to go with Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley.
No brainer.
Yeah.
I'm going with him.
And these guys are, like, physically stronger than like the other two guys.
Massive.
Yeah, they're huge. Bobby Lashley's huge. Braun Strowman's huge. He can squash both these guys easily by himself.
I mean, him and Nicholas tore it up at Mania.
I did hear something about the Greatest Royal Rumble.
What was that?
Shout out to Joe. Thank you for listening to the podcast. He talked to me the other day, and he was telling me that the reason why Braun Strowman won the Greatest Royal Rumble is because Vince wants to see him walking around with the title belt and he wants to see how the crowd reacts to him carrying a belt, because there's plans might change where he might be the next Universal Champion, and Vince McMahon wants to see how fans react to him with the title. And since, tag team, it's more of a mid-card thing.
Yeah.
And if you put him with the Greatest Royal Rumble, the belt, there's no implications where it's like a high honor, like high ranking, or mid-card, or like a lower card belt. So it's kind of a smart move, I guess.
I kind of like that idea. Like the winner of the Andre the Giant Memorial thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the trophy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not a fan of trophies.
Yeah, same.
So I'm kind of glad that there is a belt. I saw something about a belt, but since I didn't watch anything about the Greatest Royal Rumble at all, I thought it was just kind of like a joke.
Yeah, he got a green belt. It kind of looks like almost like the cruiserweight title.
I was gonna say I thought it looked, when I first saw it, I thought it looked like
kind of like the UK belt.
Yeah, the UK one immediately was like, oh, the UK, which I'll tell you right now, looks better than both WWE plain ass minimalist belts.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of, like, I like the fancy little designs. I don't like kind of the minimalistic style.
Yeah,
the big belts for the company.
Yeah, the UK belt and the North America what is it called? The North America Championship from NXT, which was debuted at TakeOver. Those two have like really good looking belts. Like they're kind of similar, but those are like two great looking belts.
Details and all that good stuff.
It's beautiful.
Look good in HD, which WWE broadcasts in. Yeah.
Only on the WWE Network.
Ooh.
So yeah, that's our predictions for Backlash
2018.
As you can see, we're really excited for it.
Trademark. I know. I mean, like I said, I poke my head in and out, and I'll probably look at the results. I might catch something. But slow down on the PPVs. Throw me some good little curveballs. Batista's out there, I don't think he's not making any more movies.
Oh, speaking of Batista, there's another thing I want to talk about. Oh. But since you brought up Batista, I was watching a video on YouTube, and I guess Batista was pitched as Ronda Rousey's partner for WrestleMania.
Oh man!
And Batista kind of pitched it where it would lead on to like next year's Mania versus him and Triple H for his last run, which he really wants to do and retire after he takes down Triple H. But I guess it was in the works, and then weeks leading into it, like nobody called him back or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And he tried to text Triple H and like, hey, what's going on? I haven't heard from you guys. And he never really got a reply.
Damn, cold shoulder.
Yeah. I don't know. Batista's doing big things too. I mean, he's in the #1 movie right now, in Infinity War, which will have spoilers here soon.
I've seen it. Well, I hasn't seen it. So.
But I have spoilers. But another thing I wanted to talk about. What was it?
Batista.
No, it wasn't Batista.
Backlash. Ronda. Triple H. Star-Lord.
Oh, God. I forgot.
Black Panther.
I totally forgot. It's all your fault for bringing up Batista.
All right, did it have to do anything with...
Oh, okay. I remember now.
Okay, now see.
Okay, so you know how at Rumble, WWE Network was showing what's going to happen on the network. They're going to have another season of Ride Along. They're going to have Edge and Christian back. They're going to have the podcast with Bruce Pritchard. I hear that they're going to bring Sunday Night Heat.
Oh, that'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah, they're going to have the whole Sunday Night Heat catalog on, I believe, this month. That's interesting. So you see a lot of matches. Back if you don't remember or watch WWE, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, this is like right before SmackDown.
Yeah.
Took over, right?
Well, kind of. It was around the same time frame. I think Heat was before SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of rolled into each other until Heat just got, taken out altogether. But yeah, he was just kind of like the dark matches being broadcast on MTV. I remember it was on MTV.
Mm-hmm.
and all they would do was they'd show a couple dark matches, like 3, and then in between, they would catch you up on last week's episode of Raw. So the next day, Monday, you'd be kind of a little caught up, and you got a little taste of something on Sunday.
Yeah, if you missed the previous week of WWE, because back then there was no, like, what was the big old thing that they had? What was the TV device? I can see the logo. It's a TV. That's when you can record stuff.
Oh, like TiVo?
Yeah, TiVo.
Okay.
Back before TiVo, there was no TiVo. There was no live. You could watch it on the internet or anything. You only had that one chance to watch Raw. It was a good option, watching Sunday Night Heat because it helped you catch up. It's kind of like the current main event.
Yeah.
Except for, I don't know.
But everything's so digital and accessible now that it makes small stuff like that kind of
like obsolete.
And it sucks because I remember watching Velocity, and Velocity was after Heat. Man, those are fun times.
So maybe they might bring back Velocity too as well.
That'd be pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't too much. I mean, at that time, that's how big of a wrestling fan I was. I'm willing to watch some dark matches from like mid-carders, and I was fine with that. Also, I didn't have cable. So that was all the wrestling, and I watched ECW.
Oh God,
like a mofo.
So yeah, that's wrestling this week. I mean, we're a little burned out, so hopefully we might take a break from wrestling here soon. Just watch some news and that's it.
CNN after this. I guess the NBA Finals.
Playoffs, yeah.
Playoffs. I say finals all the damn time. I forgot our predictions, but I mean it's going good because I said I wanted the Jazz to win, and the Jazz right now are still in it. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let me look up the.
Yeah, the Jazz are looking nice. They stole a game from James Harden's and the Rockets.
Yeah. So that series is they're on game. They're going to be playing game 3, but they're 1-1. I need to sit down and watch some of these games. I like we were saying before we started recording as someone who likes surprising sports and not too predictable. It's not always going to be the Lakers and I want to say like the Yankees, like just the big teams. Like I know there's different sports and stuff, but like that's like when I watch like soccer, you can always predict that the big guys are going to be up top.
Yeah.
Well, right now the NBA playoffs are like they're being shook up. Like this is exciting basketball because it's not your typical big hitters from the past like few years. Like you have some teams that haven't been there for years that at least since I've been like out of it, like the Raptors. I didn't know they were a good team. It's like
yeah, they've been in the playoffs the last I don't know, like maybe 4 years.
Yeah.
And they keep getting bounced out early, especially against the Cavaliers. So going down 2 games already in the series at home, they lost both home games. So that's going to be to their disadvantage. But the Raptors hate playing the Cavaliers and LeBron James because LeBron James is the one that sends them home.
So you got to step on his ankle a little bit. Make fun of his hair.
Or turn up the heat so you get cramps.
Do all you gotta do.
He did that. I don't know if you knew this, but I think when he was in Miami, he was playing against San Antonio Spurs, and I guess it was so hot that he was cramped and he had to get carried away into the back.
I remember. I think I thought that was because like the AC wasn't working or something.
Yeah,
like that.
and like they were like saying that San Antonio did that on purpose, but yeah, that's. Oh, God, that was bad. But anyway,
no one noticed San Antonio was training with the AC off in their facility the past week.
But yeah, like this year's playoffs is gonna be good because you have all these teams. Utah Jazz, they're not scrubs. They might go far. I don't see them going to the finals, but they're gonna give you a run for their money.
I want them to go to the finals.
It would be nice.
Personally,
it'd be nice. The rookie there, Mitchell, he's looking really good. I hope he wins the Rookie of the Year award because he's kind of doing it on his own. I mean, he has players around him, but he's definitely stepping up on that team. And let's see. You got the 76ers, who's been everybody's been trusting the process the last 3, 4, 5 years. You know, they're building off the drafts. They've been tanking like the last 4 years by winning like under 20 games a year.
Right.
So, and they've been doing this all along to get good draft picks to build that team up. And look at them now. They're kind of favored into going to the finals.
Even though, well, they are down, but they didn't lose by much. They lost by 5 points in a high scoring kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was surprised to kind of see them because, like I said, last time I remember the Sixers being good was Allen Iverson days.
Yeah, I think that's probably like the last time they've been in the playoffs. And then you got what's another good team? The Pelicans are looking nice, even though they just lost their first 2 games against the Warriors this season. I mean
They're game the second leg of playoffs, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
This is the
series, excuse me.
Yeah.
And so Pelicans look nice. San Antonio, they went out the first round. You know, everybody kind of expected it. The Thunder went out in the first round. I kind of feel bad for Westbrook. It's tough. I don't know if he's gonna ever be able to win a championship because he's played with so many great players. If you think about it, he had freaking Kevin Durant. He had Serge Ibaka. He had James Harden. He's had Paul George, Carmelo Anthony. He's had a lot of good players on the squad, and he still can't get a championship. What's another team that's in there? There's a lot of teams going.
I think that's basically all the games going on. It's Pelicans, Warriors, Jazz, Rockets, Cavaliers, Raptors, and the Sixers, Celtics. I mean, those are the
Celtics are doing good too, even though everybody thought they were going to do good in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But they lost Kyrie Irving at the end of the season. They lost Hayward in the beginning, like first few minutes. They lost Marcus Smart for a while, but he's back. So you got like these rookies or not rookies, but these young cats like Jason Tatum, and there's another guy on there, Jaylen Brown. They've been holding it up, so they're not backing down, even though they're injured a lot. It's gonna be tough. Do you have any predictions on who's gonna go to the finals?
Utah Jazz versus Boston Celtics.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Just watch, man.
Who knows, man?
Nostradamus of the NBA. No, it probably won't happen. But I want to see the Jazz do good. That's the only team I kind of want to see do good.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, like we said, it's supposed to be a good year for the playoffs.
We freed Meek Mills, and now we need to revive the Sonics.
He's going to Boston.
No, who, Meek?
Yeah, he's going. The 76ers are flying him to Boston for that game.
Jeez, man, they're gonna living the life now that he's out.
I guess you could do jail time and get special treatment. I think we should commit a crime.
Let's go shoplift.
Let's do this. All right. So, yeah, that's NBA. You know, it looks pretty fun this year.
Yeah, no, I definitely need to start watching more of that. I've just kind of been, I don't know, I haven't been watching too much stuff. But no, I'm trying to watch more games. I just I realized that they just ended when we started recording. There was a game on, and then it just ended. I feel like they're not on as late as they used to be. So it's almost like by the time it's like, all right, let's see what's on TV. Like all the games are done, and I can't get into highlights.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that you miss.
Yeah, and I would almost would prefer to rewatch a game than watch highlights, but at the same time, I like watching stuff live.
Yeah.
Versus like reruns and stuff. So I don't know, unless I really care to watch something over again, like the Seahawks' first Super Bowl. I would watch the Eagles Super Bowl. Yeah, why not? I mean,
that was a good Super Bowl.
Yeah, if I was sitting around one day, I would probably slap that on.
It was a offense-driven Super Bowl. They scored the most points, I think, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, that was a good Super Bowl. Nobody knew what happened until the last maybe 3 minutes.
I honestly thought that the Eagles were shut down Brady. I didn't expect it to be that offensive, but I mean that was fun.
Yeah, So yeah, it was a good Super Bowl. Speaking of NFL, they just had their draft last week. Did you catch any of it?
No.
You didn't watch it. I didn't watch it either.
No, I did. I try. I go out of my way to try not to watch draft.
There's people that get really hyped. They have parties and stuff.
Dude, the people that show up at the stadium. What's his face got booed? I thought that was pretty funny though.
Oh, Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a story where Jerry Jones was gonna have his Hall of Famers from the Cowboys like walk alongside Roger Goodell, so he wouldn't get booed as much. But that didn't pan out good because they still booed him.
No, I like how he's trying to like, you guys are booing the Cowboys. Shut up. You know who they're booing.
I was booing the Cowboys.
Yeah, of course. I'm booing
Goddamn
everyone on that
Cowboys
stage.
Suck. But yeah, nothing too crazy happened in the draft.
Nah, man, the Browns are gonna take it next year.
It'll be interesting. We'll see how they do.
They just drafted another football prodigy, Johnny Football guy, right?
Yeah, they did. Barkley?
I think that was his name. I just remember there was a lot of hype.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I didn't really care for the draft either. I'll care when season starts.
Yeah, that's basically what I wait for like August, and then I start getting into it.
All
Well,
right.
I don't know if you have any more things. I don't know if anything else popped up this week. My week's been boring.
Yeah, same. Nothing going on except for this weekend. There's a lot of things going on this weekend.
Yeah, that's what we were mentioning earlier. It was like we got stuff going on over the weekend, but as far as newsworthy stuff during the week, it's kind of slow.
Oh, and we're in. I don't know if we ever mentioned this, but we're in Yakima, and we have a basketball team here that just got revived, and
rebranded as well. Wait, no, never mind. They didn't.
No, they're the same name.
I was thinking about the baseball team. Never mind.
I forgot what the league is called, but we got teams that it's like a way below G League. But we got teams that are here in Washington State, going all the way up to like Rochester, New York, and in our first inaugural season being revived, we hired the coach, the winningest coach for the Sun Kings, which was a basketball team's name. They rehired him as a head coach because he was the winningest coach, and so they rehired him. We were hyped because we were supposed to get 2 Chainz to perform at the first game. And he had to cancel.
Because he couldn't find a second chain.
Yeah, he was missing his chain. And so the season just ended this last month. And the Sun Kings, I believe, came in first place. If not, they were up there on top.
Oh.
And right now they're just starting the playoffs. And I just want to say that they did this without 2 Chainz.
A little salty there, but...
He was supposed to come back.
No, yeah, he was. And then he was supposed to actually do a show as well.
Yeah, he was supposed to come back. He never came back. I didn't even listen to his last album. That's how mad I am at him. That's how mad I am at
I was
him.
so mad even before that I hadn't listened to any of his music at all prior to any of this. I had a preemptive hate to this moment, I guess.
I can't even buy another chain. I have 1 chain. I can't even buy another chain because I don't want to be like 2 Chainz.
It's true.
That bastard.
Anyway, good luck to the Kings. I'm going to try and go to the game.
Yeah, it's
that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, we try to support local things. We want to see more local things coming. The music scene's kind of picking up here. Kind of slowly. We went to a rock concert a few weeks ago. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, a couple shows tomorrow as well.
Yeah, there's a couple of local bands playing at a few bars. Then we got the Kendrick Lamar's championship tour coming through with Auburn. We're going to be going to that on Saturday.
See us there. Get some free cupcakes.
Yes. We'll be in the lawn section. Hit us up.
For sure. All right, well, that sums up for myself.
Yeah.
Very enthusiastic.
I got what I needed to get off. Fuck you, Chainz.
save all the hate for the end.
I'm just joking. I don't even know the guy. He might be a nice guy.
Well, you probably would have got the chance to get to know him if he would have came by, but
damn, that son of a bitch.
Yeah. That's the way it goes sometimes. All right. Well, anyway, I'm Davito,
And I'm Lalo.
and this is This Week in 3D
Peace.
Podcast Land.